Friends, welcome to the fourth of the Wave 1 tests of Solaris Nights, a Battletech show, possibly, could be, coming up. I am, of course, APGamingREAL. Today, I have tried and failed to acquire a PlayStation 5. It's just not going to happen. Now, Pondo, if people are watching the show, there's a very high probability that they already know who you are, since you were in my 3-year-long A Time of Total Warfare Battletech campaign. But just in case this is their first exposure to you, what would you say?
I am Pondo, or PondoTheMad. Yeah, I've been on the show for about 3 years on Battletech. Was a big thing. If you have any questions about me, you can always reach me at APGamingREAL@gmail.com.
Don't say that, because new people might not understand that that's a joke. They might not get the meme. You're actually a streamer, though, right?
I am. For the past few weeks, I've kind of not been streaming, mainly because I've been getting my wedding stuff done. Now that's over.
Are you saying you just got married? Like what, on like Sunday, right?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, so got that done. So should be back with my show on Sunday, and then we'll be back with our other show, Rogue Trader, on Saturday. That should be fun.
I mean, I certainly hope so. I have fun playing.
I do too. I like watching things unfold.
You certainly are an agent of chaos on that particular show.
How am I the agent?
You're trying to sell my body.
It's because you're trying to sell mine.
That's accurate. That's fair. All right, you ready to kick this thing off?
Yeah.
All right, well, first, a message from our sponsors. This is Solaris Nights with your host, the artist formerly known as Lil Drac. Solaris Nights. Produced by Donegal Broadcasting Corporation, the most trusted news in the Lyran Commonwealth. Welcome back to Solaris Nights. I am the artist formerly known as Little Drac. I am joined by yet another member of the Apex Dragons stable, Brody Harrison. Long-time, small-time gladiator, first time entering the Solaris Open, hoping for an invitation into the league. Brody, what can you tell us about yourself?
I'm just a man that's on the edge, you know. Finally gotten the opportunity to get some good tech to enter this sort of thing. Gave me a prototype mech, so that way they know this thing can handle a stride on the battlefield.
No, yes, let's talk about your prototype mech. Who are your backers, or where did you acquire a production model bushwhacker? That line isn't expected to see frontline combat in the Federated Commonwealth until next year.
I unfortunately cannot say at the time. I've been signed to a non-disclosure agreement with the sponsors.
So it is a sponsored mech then. Interesting.
But yeah, and I've been able to tweak with it, get a different loadout into it. Didn't say that the original one wasn't bad of all means, but it's not quite as good for the closer range situations that the Solaris fights are known for.
And I think you'll find that tonight's battlefield, the Iron Ridge Arena, is one that favors closer range engagements. Now, as long as we're talking about mechs, there is a rumor in the betting parlors that you have said disparaging things about cicadas. What is your beef with the cicada battle mech design?
Oh, they're typically just little bugs that run around the place all fast, like with only a little bit of paperweight armor to hold them back. Yeah, planning on making myself a nice wing dinner from that chicken walker that's on the other side.
Yes, a wing dinner, of course. What do you have to say about your opponent, Erfarenhet? They were completely silent through my interview with them, and indeed they rarely speak to interviewers at all. When asked about their upcoming match with you, they simply grunted.
Seems like a rookie, not sure how things work around here. He may have got his claim to fame just by being a little bit of a street fighter, but out here it's a little bit different of a game. Really only the most experienced warriors actually make it to the top.
And you think that you're going to make it to the top today?
I very well think so.
Now, what are your thoughts on the rest of your stable, Apex Dragons? They've been a very mixed bunch so far, with a penchant for lethality and chivalry. It's such opposite ends of the spectrum from what we normally see.
Most of my teammates, I'll say teammates because they're part of the same crew, are a bit of rookies. They don't understand the things around here.
So you consider yourself like a mentor figure who is more experienced than them?
Yeah, I've definitely been here longer than any of them probably combined.
Do you think that you're more skilled than your fellow pilots?
I'd say so.
I see. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans or sponsors before the match starts?
All I gotta say, I'm getting ready to turn this bug, burn it down like an ant under the magnifying glass.
Brody Harrison, everyone. Guaranteeing victory, as every member of Apex Dragons has done so far. We'll be back on the battlefield after a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back to the historic Iron Ridge Arena. Tonight we'll be battling under the light of the full moon as these competitors dance to their deaths. As you know, Iron Ridge Arena is built over an active iron deposit, which gives parts of the arena electromagnetic interference. Now, our handy-dandy cameras have given us precise circling technology to show where these deposits are. On sensors, they may appear blacker than the nearby areas. Now, let's talk about your particular use of your mech. I understand that it's a bit unusual even among prototype bushwhackers.
Well, my mech is mostly focused on medium to short range, though I'd like to keep closer to about the medium range. It's got an ER large laser and an LBX 10 to handle those medium to long range stuff. And then as soon as I get up close, I turn on all tubes for the SRMs and then let them loose.
I see. What do you think about the edge that your opponent has in maneuverability?
Well, in this situation, with all the mountains, it's going to definitely be good for him to pop in and out, getting behind the mountains when need be, especially if he gets the underhand as far as going too soon or waiting too long. I do think, considering the situation, he might consider holding back his jump jets a bit so he doesn't overheat making an easier target for himself. But he's definitely has me a little bit outranged due to that ERPPC. But with situations tonight, it probably wouldn't do him too well to be that far off.
Okay. We've heard from Brody Harrison. Let's get a look from Erfarenhet. So we see a large man of kind of ambiguous ethnicity. He's about 6.5 feet tall, completely made of muscle, massive wide torso, covered in tribal tattoos from bald head down his arms, down his torso. He's only wearing Mech Warrior shorts as he approaches, and he simply stomps past his flags, one of which is a sort of Solaris local flag, but his second banner, which would be his personal factional representation, there is nothing there. And he just climbs up the side of his cicada saying nothing, as people in the betting parlors and in the bars on the virtual screens that surround the battlefield just kind of mutter and look on in surprise. As we all know, Erfarenhet has made a splash on Solaris 7, the games world, by trashing his and his opponent's mechs in almost every single one of his matches, becoming extremely popular as a sort of duo of death, causing every match that he's in to end in a draw. Brody, it's time for that coin flip. Would you like to pick heads or tails?
Go with heads.
Very well. It's tails. Erfarenhet chooses to deploy on the southern side of the battlefield for a north-south engagement.
I can pick any side, any way on this edge.
On the north side, yes.
I'm guessing 3 hexes, of course.
Indeed. I'm gonna erase these circles now.
Where'd I even go? Hold on a second. All right, that's a bad idea. Actually, it's not that bad of an idea. This is a hard decision I thought it would be.
PondoTheMad waffling on your decision? I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to, you can just go back and watch Cyberpunk 2020. I know you were doing that before the show started.
I was definitely doing that, yeah. All right. That's a mistake. But...
Wow, the zoom in on the Bushwhacker does not work very well. I have to tell you, I don't like the Bushwhacker model in Tabletop Simulator, but it looked great in MechWarrior 3. It was an excellent mech.
The NWO model looks a little bit funky, yeah.
Alright, I got an initiative of 7. Good luck.
Okay. I have 8.
Well, suppose what I'm gonna do is... jump up here.
Are these trees actually forests, or they're just decorative trees?
They're decorative.
Okay.
I confirmed it with the map makers.
That's removed.
Several times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 5.
Okay, now for my recollection, because he's above you, you don't get that partial cover.
That is true.
Yes. I don't want to stop you from moving there. I just don't want you to move there if that's...
Yep, you know, you're correct. That's a dumb move on my part, so. 5, 6, 7, 8. I should have started up there anyway, but that's fine. So I ran for nothing.
Seems like you can see each other. However, you do pass through a electromagnetic interference. Okay, so I'm thinking ERPPC, if it's even a possible hit. 4, 5, 6, 7. The Moonlight makes it 8, 9. The Interference makes it 10, 11. The Distance makes it...
You're almost certainly in long range.
It's not going to be able to hit. So Erfarenhet kind of backs off from you, and I doubt you can hit either. I'm
pretty sure not, because
very well.
I get the negative for walk. Actually, you're right past one, so yeah, it'd make it impossible for me. Yeah.
Let's roll. 6.
6. 7.
Wow. Right. 5 hexes. Okay.
Okay. 5. And if I turn, I will have to make a piloting check, which
Only if you turn while you're on the street.
I thought it was if you turn, if you pass the street at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Only if you make turns while on the street. Or ice or several other substances.
I'm just gonna go back 1, 4.
Well, now
5.
you're gonna have to make that check.
Well, that's still only a walk.
Well, it's only you have to commit at the beginning as to whether it's going to be a walk or a run.
Okay, that's right. I'll commit to the run and then.
Very well.
So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes.
And how many hexes was it when you turned? 3?
1, 2, 3, 4 technically.
Okay. Skid. So you skid chart. You make a piloting roll at 0 on the old skiddo. Pretty good.
Okay. I saw it turning over. I was worried. That
yeah, it could have been. Could have been.
That's
certainly worse things have happened.
Yeah. Okay.
So then, do you have a movement die?
Yeah, I've moved 7 hexes, so I should have a run of for a +3 modifier.
This is the first time we get to use the hex calculator on camera. Incredible, this level of technology.
Didn't you use it for... Oh, well, your guys are pretty much like right close to each other anyway, right?
16 hexes, huh?
Yeah, for +3.
So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nope, not gonna happen. How about you?
So 3, 3, 5. You're definitely at long range. For 5, 9. So plus your 3 makes it no, that makes it 12, and then yeah, even if it did LBX cluster, it wouldn't be able to hit. Okay. I'm pretty sure I passed over something that.
No, there's no between the two of us. There's no EMI. It's here and here.
I'll fire an LBX 20 shot at cluster for the hell of it. Make it for boxcars, but. So as he's like turning to aim his LBX at the cicada, he there's like a screen for like the prompter that shows up like kind of like Duck Hunt with the cicada in the reticles.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's really close, but that's not going to do it.
You don't want to spend your edge to re-roll, try to get that second 6?
Can I re-roll 1 die with it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still not worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I just thought maybe you would want to try.
If I had more edge, then sure, go for it. And cluster 6 would hit, but
So cicada flying, bushwhacker running at full speed, middle of the night, and you let off loose a shotgun blast, and I think we just see the tracers of the I don't know what we want to call it, buckshot, soar around it and slam into the side of the Iron Hills.
I guess it's like the cluster shot is just a bunch of like large ball bearings, essentially.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's remove our movement dice and do the next initiative.
Donegal Broadcasting Company news alert.
8.
7. Oh my goodness.
The thing is, we're so far of a range away from each other. It's not really mattering that much.
Erfarenhet takes a cicada backwards.
Hexes. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would not be in line of sight still. Well, you still have their cover.
Yeah, we have line of sight, no EMI.
Commit to that 5? I think so. I'll keep to that 5. 12 hexes?
What it says.
Yeah, I'll commit to that walk.
Right, that is not correct because that's only 9 hexes.
I wonder if it's including the elevation.
Oh, maybe. That could be true.
So I wonder if that's the shots before were...
Yeah, but you guys are only 9 hexes away, so... You're good with that movement then?
Yeah.
Very well. So, medium range, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll take one shot at that. Nope.
I will fire with my ER large LBX 10 cluster again. I'm actually going to start dumping the anti-missile system ammo.
Really? Now, you know you can use that as a machine gun.
I'm not going to be able to get it like point blank for you.
That's possibly true. All right.
Two extra damage is not that worthwhile.
You start dumping it
at
the back of the neck. I mean, look, if you want to tell me that you just didn't even bring it in the first place, I'll buy that.
I probably wouldn't have brought it in the first place because it just would have been a waste.
Gonna come a moment when you need 2 more damage in the center torso to completely core him.
Yeah. All right. So the LB10X, the ER large laser, and I'm going to go ahead and fire both SRM4s because it's 3, 4, 5 for your cover, 6, 7 for your movement.
Don't forget the nighttime penalty.
Oh, nighttime's 2. So actually, I probably could. So at long range, 7 would make it 11. Yeah, I can't shoot those, so I'm not going to shoot the SRMs. So I think your medium range for the LBX and the ER large. So 3, 4 for walking, 2 for your jump, so it makes it 5, 6. 1 for your cover makes it 7. Medium range makes it
2. Medium range is 2.
I'm so used to having sniper, it's psyching me out. 2.
I'd love to have jumping jack, but we can't.
Yeah, that jumping jack would be perfect for you. You can just jump 8 hexes all the time.
Yeah.
Overheat eventually, but so 7, 9. So it'd be 9 with the ER large and then 8 with the LBX10 at cluster. So just go ahead and shoot at the large. That's a 10 for a hit in your right leg. So it hits the ball. Can I reroll the location?
Do what?
That's not worth it. I was considering reloading the location.
Instead, all of your slugs slam into the side of the hill.
That was the large laser. Not
Your
the
large
slugs.
laser slams into the side of the hill.
Yeah. All right. So the LBX for 8.
And that dirt gets all melty
That'll
and
hit
glassy.
with 8 shots on a 10 rack is 6 still, so 6 LBX hit. First point goes into your left torso.
Okay.
And then I've got 5 location die here ready to go to make this faster. No double 6s or 1s. That's unfortunate. All right, so first is a point goes into your left leg, so it hits the wall. And 1 point goes to your right arm.
Okay.
1 point goes into your right torso.
All right.
Another point to the right arm.
Okay.
And then 1 point to your left arm.
Okay. Just a brief smattering. What else you got?
That's all.
All right. Let's talk about heat, because maybe either of us have built.
I cannot. I only built at most 14.
All right, I built 19.
15.
So not enough to activate the heat bonus.
So the only way I can activate it is if I fire everything and run. Which I...
True.
Yeah.
Let's remove our movement dice.
All right.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and lose every round of initiative, huh?
I'd like you to win because that means you get closer.
I'd like you to get closer so that I can win. Cicada jumps down here.
I see. I don't want to play your game that much, but turn 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up the mountain. There you go.
I mean, that's like a hill. I wouldn't call it a mountain.
That's, yeah. That's fair. It's 30 meters at least.
Okay. Let us remove any movement dice we have, because that's going to be that for that round.
Yeah. I didn't put any on there.
11. Finally, a
7.
victory. Good luck. Why don't you come closer?
I'm not, because you have 8 hexes of jump. And you can jump over that one immediately in front of you. Shit.
Yep.
I'm tempted just to stay moving because I don't think you can get behind me. Well, maybe you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, you can. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to run.
Okay. That made my move.
Okay. So another round not shooting.
6.
6. 5.
6.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I see. Interesting.
Bushwhacker's doing a little moonwalk as he goes by.
Yeah.
Completely destroying the
You really don't
asphalt.
want me to get behind you, huh?
No.
All right.
I think I can take a 10. No, I can't. Wow, it actually has very little rear armor. That sounds so Solaris of this game.
6 is going to give me a 3. Okay, you're shooting first.
What are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hexes with a +3 modifier. So 3, 4 for walk, 3 for your jump makes it 7, +1 for your hill makes it 8. And then my +2 for the
Nighttime.
nighttime. How many hexes did you jump?
6.
Okay. I don't think I can hit you with my SRMs yet still, so because that'd be long range. Yeah, because make it 10 for the nighttime. Long range will make it 14. I think we'll do the same thing with the ER large. I think it boxcars for me. I don't know. Yeah, you're eight hexes away, not 7. Yeah. So boxcars for ER large, and then 11 for the LBX10 at cluster. So ER large. Nope. LBX10. Nope. Okay. So I'm down to 7 shots at LBX10.
I'll get your name on card if you.
Yeah.
I don't think I can hit, so that concludes this round.
Yes. You're correct, because it was like a boxcar for me at medium range.
6.
I figured it's be more of a longer range fight, but it's like
The moonlight is
the moonlight is brutal.
make that difficult.
Yeah. 8.
You can close in on me with an 8.
Did you move? Oh no, you're still calculating. Okay.
I'm good.
You take that cover there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know.
Like we're playing a game of hide and seek with, you know, murder guns. These hills of iron. You're really enjoying the move and then turn and then walk backwards, huh? You're doing that a lot. And what I love is that the bushwhacker legs are perfectly suited to make weird movements like that. With the
Chicken walkers, man.
pivot joint and...
Yeah. So we're 7 hexes away, actually. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Okay.
I moved. I think only
4, 5, 6 for moonlight. 7, 8, 9 for jump.
5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I only moved 4 hexes, so I only get a +1 modifier.
Will you get a 1 or
a 1?
Okay. So
I need at least 5 to get 2.
A 10 to hit with the ERPPC. Nope. I got nothing.
Oh, you got a 4 modifier. I don't know if I can hit you actually. I might be able to. So 3, 4, 4. Then you cover for 5. Then +4 for 9. 10. So that makes it 11 to hit with the large, and then a box car to hit with the LBX10, Yeah, why not? I'll do large and LBX. Large for 11, then LBX at boxcars. So large first. Could have been no, not worth trying to go for the 11. LBX for boxcars. I'm close. Okay.
So that would be a head hit.
With 10 hitting, that's. I gotta let it lie. It's not worth.
It's not, but I thought maybe I could tempt you into it. Next round, because he generated more than 20 points of heat, you will get a
-1
to hit him. So he builds 23 points of heat.
So
let's remove our movement dice.
Well, I don't need to win it.
I just want to. I know I mentioned it before, but it's absolutely wild how different 1v1 combat is compared to.
It's very thing. So I lose, so I'm just going to do a simple thing here. One.
No, come closer. Come closer.
I can't remember if you can change altitude while
you cannot while moving backwards. No.
All right, so I'm just going to do. I'm going to run.
You're running and turning?
No, I'm just going to walk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not only be one hex. One modifier.
You really just will not come close to this guy, huh?
No, that's not my guy's net game. He's a practical fighter.
He's
and you have the jump jets that make melee not a good idea.
All right, go 1, 2, 3.
What do you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep, 8 hexes.
8. Yeah, I counted wrong. So you're no longer in short range for your PPC. Okay, so I shoot first. So 3 + 1 is 4. Plus your 2 makes it 6. 1 for your. Are you technically in this EMI?
Can we draw a line through it between the two of us? No.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So 6 + 1 of your card makes it 7. So it'd be. Hold on, +2 for night makes it 9. So it'd be 11 for large, and then 5 for 10 for LB10. Yeah, large laser, then LB10 cluster. 11 then 10. So first 11 for the large. Nope. And 10 for the LB cluster. Nope. Okay.
I'm not going to shoot this round. So I cool off.
All right.
Come closer, Pondo.
No.
5.
8. Oh, so you're in that zone now, huh? That makes it harder for you to shoot and harder for me to hit you.
Please take your turn.
Please take my turn. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I am. Well. All right. So I moved I think like 3 hexes, so I only get +1 with a run. All right.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Are you within 7 hexes? Yeah, 12 to shoot you. I will skip. You're up. I just don't want to give you a heat bonus to shoot me if I don't have a clear.
Oh, I had a heat bonus last. Didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Your heat. My bonus went away, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay. 5. So you're 5 hexes. So 3, 5, 9 +2 makes it +2 because you're in that makes it 11, and +2 for night makes it. Oh God, no. It'd be physically impossible.
Please use all the ammo you want, sir.
No, it's not.
For sure.
Like I can't. I wouldn't be able to hit you because 3, 5 for running plus your 4 for your jump makes it 9 +2 because you're in the EMI. Makes it 11. Then +2 for night makes it 13.
Okay.
So even with my ER large with short range, I wouldn't be able to hit you.
4.
4. 9. Yeah, this night fighting thing is brutal. You're that day. I think you only went 2 hexes, didn't you? You only had +1. Yeah, because you're there, and then over there it'd be 2 hexes.
Oh, that's not actually a good move then. I'm gonna jump. I might as well generate a lot of stuff in the process. Look, I'm nice and short range. Let's have a battle. Why don't you stick around? Close as possible.
You got a 4 hex modifier again? You're behind that EMI, so it'd be a -2 to hit you. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would get the EMI difficulty if I'm standing in it, correct?
Correct. And I would get it for shooting you there. Right, come towards me. Let's do it.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually a hex above you, which means you wouldn't get that cover.
Correct, I don't get partial cover down here.
Over here, aim this way. I think technically I'd be able to get you
From here to here passes on the edge.
Yeah.
From middle to middle.
So it's 3, 2, be 5, plus your 4, make it 9. Plus the 2 would make it 11. God, standing still. All right, so what I gotta do is 1, 2. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Run backwards, so
Is 6 still a walk for you?
that's 5. No, walk is 5 for me. So
Yeah, so you can't move backwards.
yeah, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Okay.
with no modifier.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's only an 11 to hit you. I'll
At
pass.
4 hexes away.
Yeah. I'll pass.
So 3, 4, 8, 9, physically impossible.
Okay, let's roll again. This could be the round where the fighting actually starts.
Maybe.
All I gotta do is win initiative.
7, I think you win.
Yep. Take a chance. Roll the dice.
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Not a bad call on your part.
8. Yeah. 4, 5, 6. No, that's not going to work either. 7, 8. No, you're still going to get me behind there. It would just give me, no, it wouldn't give me anything. I mean, I could just turn 5.
Alright, I hate to do this in the middle of a recorded session, but I have to step aside for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
Someone needs me at my front door. Can you entertain the recorded audience?
So, right now, folks, I'll explain what's going on here. So I lost initiative, and I'm within 8 hexes. So bright side for me is, more than likely, if he takes a chance, he had to go his full 8 and start overheating himself, which will give me a help. Bad news is, I'm currently in a situation where he can shoot my back and his PPC will hit me internal regardless. His medium lasers will hit my side torsos in the back regardless. I can't do anything about it. That's just what it is. I kind of took a gamble, tried to get closer. Didn't work out. That's fine. But ultimately, if he gets right behind me, which I don't know if you'll see it, I'm going to poke at the hex right behind me. He can get there with 8 jump, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he can get there with 8 jump, and which will put him at 8 heat plus 15 if he uses his PVC, which I don't think he will. He probably just uses medium lasers, which wouldn't be the juicier option in the situation. So he starts at a 4, jumps for plus 3 to make it 7, plus my 1 will make it 8. Then he'd just be hitting everything at 10s after you include the night fighting, which is unideal. Really, I'm playing a match where I don't have jump jets and he has all the jump jets. I kind of have to do that. So he's either got to make a decision where he only goes 5 hexes and not use. I don't know what he's going to do. He hasn't been showing much aggression in the fight. I do believe that he has the tendency to, but we kind of just been kind of poking at each other's toes. Me using a lot of the cluster shots, which gives me a benefit to hit. That's where the +1/-1 comes from. It worked once, and it didn't work in the way I wanted it to. Oh, that would have been a headshot there. That's unfortunate. Oh, no, it wouldn't. Somewhere around there would have been a headshot. But, yeah. I'm in the pickles like I thought it would. I didn't realize that there's going to be night fighting, which makes it that extra +2 is very brutal in this situation, because a lot of times I would have been hitting on 8s, maybe 9s, which isn't as bad. Right now, it's not that great. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to do, because he can jump 8, fire both medium lasers at 10s, which would be okay, but they would both penetrate my side torsos, which wouldn't be great, because I have XL engine. I didn't realize that this thing had it, but oh well. I kind of wanted to play a bushwhacker, and I got a bushwhacker, so hopefully the fans will appreciate the rarer mech and the more reserved playstyle. Probably not. Fans really just want to go in your face, punching, kicking, jumping around, jump around. I'm really waiting for the point where I can get close enough range to activate all my SRM4s and start wailing on him with that, because he's got a lot of armor for a cicada, surprisingly, just because he has that XL engine. If I can just get like a slug into him, that'd be great. And then everything else can just soften him up. I don't know how this match is going to go. This is one of those, it could go either way. As far as and if you haven't seen them, stop right now, go watch the previous fights. There was relative distinct advantages that everybody else had. Dunamis had an advantage that his mech was about 10 tons heavier and had at least a weapon that could punch a good hole into anything on that commando. Varen, the ferryman, his mech was only 5 tons heavier, but had a speed advantage against the hatchet man, and as far as he could go 6'9". Well, the hatchman did have jump jets. He couldn't really jump on any of the buildings, which would have been very advantageous for him. And a lot of those buildings were just like just one high. Hi.
I don't know what Pondo's been telling you. Where were we at? Did you give the life story of Brody Harrison?
Moving. Huh?
I was saying, did you give the life story of Brody Harrison? No,
I didn't. I just been giving a situational, tactical readout of the situation, plus of how everybody else this fight were going. I was getting to that, but then you came back. 8 Hex is directly behind me if you want to go there.
I don't, because I won't be able to shoot you from there.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is it because it's 3 high?
I don't know about the height distance. We've always just played like if it's such a height, you can't shoot down.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
7 hexes is going to give me a 4. So I think Erfarenhet opens his comms for the first time and says, "You talk about street fight, but you do not know street fight. You dance." As this cicada touches down, not behind you, but like beside you. Very close to behind you.
I don't got a comeback at the moment. Kind of just looks at the screen, go like, and it just shuts off the communications.
You sure this isn't just Bandito in disguise? It's a classic Time of Total Warfare move.
That's what everybody else did, was just shut off the communication.
That's true. All right.
They knew just said something stupid and then just went with it. All right. So I'll shoot first. This would be 3 with a 4. Plus 4 for yours makes it 8, then 2 for the night fighting. So it makes it 10. Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, so after like the communications cut down, we have like these camera angles set up to where these like 8 switches that all say SRM4 tube 1, 2, 3, 4. Then second rack 1, 2, 3, 4. So he goes through and turns all the racks up. Then like a couple buttons say more missiles. As goes
Oh man, do your
Erfarenhet
fans
online.
like raise signs on the TV screens that say more missiles?
Yeah. As is turn the torso and it beat 10s on everything. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot do a LB10 slug, ER large, and then 2 SRM4 fat packs, which should just put me. Actually, it'll put me at 21 heat, but I'm not too concerned about that. I'll dissipate it, but I'll have he'll get the plus to hit him next round, which again, not too worried about it. So LB10 slug hitting on 10. That'll hit. Location 5, which is the right leg, takes 10.
Not so good for me.
Yeah, you kind of need those legs. ER large for 10. Nope, that's a double 1. That'll miss. SRM4 pack 1. That'll hit with a double 12. So 7 on a 4 pack is 3 hit. First 2 hit the center torso.
Got it.
Second 2 hit the left leg.
Okay.
And last missile hits the right arm.
Okay.
That's the least advantageous spot for that to hit. And then second pack needing a 10. I got a 10. 6 on a 3/4 pack is only 2 missiles hit this time. First 2 hit the left arm. Then second 2 will hit the left torso.
Okay. I'm gonna need to make a piloting check to stay standing.
12
Nailed it with a double 6.
14 plus 6, 20, then 21.
I'm gonna alpha strike, and then I'm gonna follow it up with 2 punches. But my punches are at half strength, and it's a +1 to hit because they lack lower arm actuators.
Yeah.
I think it's 10 for me to hit with everything. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the nighttime, which is the right time. Looking for a little bit of that luck. 8 on a, what am I, right side?
You'd be right side, yeah.
Center torso for whatever ERPPC is 10.
10, yeah. Okay.
Wish it was clan.
Yeah.
Wish it was clan. Nope.
And 10 for a medium, which
Yes.
will hit. That'll hit my right leg. That's okay.
Do you have any physical attacks you want to declare?
I can't make any technically, I believe.
Very well.
Nor can I, because I use both my arms.
Punch time. So I need 5,
8 for
6,
jumping.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do I really need a 12 to hit you with a punch?
Sounds about right.
Oh my goodness. Well,
that night fighting is brutal. Oh.
Well, I mean, you know, it's a punch,
matter.
so I'd have to roll another d6, but boy, that does feel like a waste. All right, so yeah, it lands somewhat slightly behind you. How are we doing on armor penetration here? You look surprisingly good for someone who was shot with an ERPPC.
Yeah. You're looking pretty decent as well.
I'm gonna snap like a twig the first time you get a solid shot on me. So I build 29 heat, so I have a 9 heat differential. Not so good, as Disguised Toast would say. Not looking so good for you, Abe.
Brody like turns on the communications to him, like, looks like you're heating up. Better stay out of the kitchen.
But the kitchen is warm. All right. Make your roll.
It was lost on you. It just shuts it off.
I have a 6 initiative.
I have a 9.
Even when there's no modifiers to initiative, I still lose consistently. It's unreal. Unreal.
Here's gonna jump at. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, better yet. What's it facing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I should be able to see you.
Yes, we can see each other.
I went 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 hexes with a run. That's fine.
Probably should have moved one more hex back.
So you'll have a -1 to hit me, and I'll have a -1 to hit you.
Oh, for the heat. Yes,
Yeah.
that is, I suppose, true.
So, because I got 21 heat, and then, but I dissipated all mine. Main difference. But you do have a -1 for your heat.
Sounds good to me.
8.
So if I want to shoot, it'll be 4, 5 for my heat penalty, 6, 7, 8 for the jump, 9, 10, 11. So I'm just not going to shoot.
Okay.
I'm gonna cool off, which is my intention in jumping up here anyway.
So start at 3, ran for 5. You have a jump of 3. You're not behind any cover technically, because I can just out of it. There's so 5, 8, 10 for night fighting, and then you're 6 hexes away. Oh, you -1 because of your heat, so you're at
9.
so 9 short, then 10 medium. No,
be
not
11
10.
medium.
11 medium. Sorry, sniper. The heat's not cumulative, right? Or is it? Like if I build 20 heat,
yes, it's cumulative.
Last
if you build 40 total heat, it's a +2. If you build 60, but it's not between rounds.
oh, okay, so
if you build 20 this round, it's still only a +1.
Okay, I'm not going to worry about it then. So I'm going to fire 10 at slug, large laser, and then 2 SRM4s. So the slug and the large laser will be at 9, and then SRMs are at 11. So slug, that's a miss. Large laser at 9, that's a miss.
Just gotta run down that SRM ammo. Am I right?
Miss.
We got
last
like
SRM4.
5 million rounds.
Quite a bit. All right, so I'll miss. All right. I still don't build any heat because that put me at 22 heat.
Good. I drain all my heat.
So I'm at 21 out of 25 SRM ammo.
I feel like this fight is like this crazy, you know, the mechs are barely visible on the screen and they're just being lit up by like laser blasts at each other. People are just like, did it hit? Did it hit? And then, you know, like
there's always
screen
that like
is
2-second pause.
Yeah, but the screen is constantly rotating between regular thermographic and like X-ray or magnetic. And the magnetic is being interfered with by all the iron around, and people are just like, go back to the thermovision. People are just yelling at their TV screens. Everyone's got old sports grandpa in their fuck. God damn it.
I got 11, which is kind of like 2 ones.
Double one. Did you just say it's kind of double ones?
Well, there's 2 ones. So.
I want to tell you that I'm planning on seeding a gladiator in the rankings based on a guy from one of the Armored Core games whose name was Count 11. And he's a dude who liked ones so much that rather than try to win first place, he tried to win 11th place because it had more ones in it.
I guess that's its own victory.
Yeah, so he was actually better than some of the people above him.
So you have to think, who's the real winner? The guy who got first place?
No, the guy who got first place, for sure. He's much more difficult.
Fair enough. All right.
How can I draw you into a weird fight that will make it more difficult for you to maneuver away later?
Stand right next to me. Make me want to stand still. Like, I jump right next to you.
No, I'm doing Black Hawk Down. I'm doing fuck you, come to me.
Okay. What are you? 1, 2, 3,
What have you done to my beautiful dice? You recolored them like a rainbow.
That's my LBX cluster dice.
I mean, I knew what they were. I just didn't know what you'd done to them.
Recolor them to make it easier for cluster.
Performing surgery.
I'll say technically where I am, I can't see you.
Right now?
I would say so, yeah.
Is that a too high in front of you? Then the answer is yes.
Too high.
We cannot
so I'm going to do
other.
the sensible thing, just back up 1 hex.
Good.
Which will make me 8 hexes away from you.
Well, I have good news and bad news. It passes through the cover in front of me and the EMI in front of me.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just go through this hex.
Okay.
I could do it either way. It's just
6, 7, 8 hexes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to shoot then. Conditions are on favor. Did I reset my... Yes, I'm at 0.
I really want you to shoot. I don't know if I can hit you now.
I really want to get into
3,
a close
4,
range slugging
8.
match with you. Could you hold still?
I don't want to, but
lose
I know
initiative for once. It would really help me out here.
So 8, 2 for night fighting, so it makes it 10. This would be boxcars. All right, because you have 4. Yeah, no, I'll try a large laser for boxcars. I don't care.
Listen, I need that anime kid moment where you give me the perfect opening to shoot you, and you're like, "What? How did you get behind me?"
I gotta let it lie.
Ah, you got close. You got close.
I got really close. I just want to hit you once. All right.
Stand still then. It'll make it easier.
I'll consider it if I lose initiative.
I'm glad to hear that. Let's talk about that initiative. Oh, you still have shooting to do.
No, I already used my shooting.
Oh, okay.
I got a 10 on initiative.
Fuck. I got a 5.
I gotta start saving ammo. You did it. So yours would be 3, 6, 8. Because night fighting. It's worth standing still. 2, 3, 4. It's worth standing still.
I'm basically straight up challenging you to come at me, bro.
So I'm just gonna go.
Look, in the words of Hamilton, I'm not standing still. I'm just lying in wait.
2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, come.
Oh, it's punch time for sure.
I'm not scared of your punches, surprisingly enough.
Well, that's because they only do like 3 damage or something really small.
Yeah, it's
But the problem is that I have a pretty good chance to hit you in the head.
I guess that's true, but I don't know. So just
Should
plus
be
one.
afraid.
There's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yeah. So plus one with the lock. All right.
Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to hit with everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to hit with everything. Here, PPC first.
Oh, 9. Medium. I'll hit.
There it is.
4, which is my right arm. That's my AC on it.
Yeah, but
I
5
really have much
damage is
ammo in there, actually.
not the kind of good stuff that we need.
I'll return the favor in kind and fire with everything.
Only you had that anti-missile system.
I'm not really worried about that 2 damage, considering I think I'm still hitting on 11.
I want to put you in a position where 2 damage would have made the difference. To punish you for your hubris.
If this ends up where I have you open up at like 2 damage somewhere, or if I got you like 1 point of damage somewhere and I hit you in that spot, then maybe. But so start at 3 from 4 plus your 3 makes it 7, then 2 for night fighting. So makes it 9. So I'll be hitting you on 9s. So the LB, I don't really have you open up here. I'd just be shooting for headshots and center torso criticals, wouldn't I? Yeah, I'm gonna do slug, then large laser, then SRM. All right, so slug at 9. That is not a 9. That would hit the right arm, which wouldn't even take it off. It would just crit you twice, and what do you lose? Just punching ability?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Large laser misses. God, that's through armor critical. It doesn't crit. It would hit you center torso. One point's not enough. SRM 4-1. That'll hit. 3 missiles hit. First 2 hit the right leg.
Okay.
Second 2.
There we go. Right leg. Alright, right leg's looking pretty weak.
Second 2 hits the left leg.
Okay, that's looking good.
And 3rd missile in that pack. 2 to the head.
That's really bad.
All right, and then second SRM 4-pack. Hitting at a 9. That's a 10, so that'll hit. Only 2? Or is that only 1? Okay, no, it's 2 missiles. So only 2 missiles hit. First 2 hit the right arm.
Only 2 armor left there.
Second 2 hit the left torso.
Okay.
I don't think it's worth trying to kick you. Or is it? I'd be hitting at a 3 plus 1 is... No, I'd be hitting a 4 plus 1 is 5, plus your 3 makes it 8. 2 for night fighting, so just be hitting at 8s. No, that's not worth it. That's not worth falling over.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for my punches.
Plus
one for the arm thing.
Scars.
So I'm looking for...
Scars.
No. Okay, I build a 9 points of heat. No initiative.
It's worth just standing still. Because
you're up
can't
first.
Shoot behind me.
Good luck.
Yeah, you can't really shoot behind me, so best you can do is just back out for a turn and then cool down. I'll stand still.
I don't know whether I want to DFA you or just slug it out with you. So tempted to DFA, but I'm fairly certain you'll deal enough damage to me that I'll fall on the way over.
Plus.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't move, you're gonna get a lot of hits on me.
If you tried to DFA me, you would be hitting on a what? Let's see, you're 4. No, 6
5.
because you're injured.
Yeah.
6 plus the 1 for piloting difference, so it'd be 7 plus 3 for your jumping, so it'd be 10 plus 2 for night fighting, make it boxcars. I mean, really, your survivability is just moving.
Your survivability is moving.
Yes, that is also mine, but it's not been working. Well, it has been working.
I'm gonna slug it out with you. I'm just gonna stand
Get
still.
1 point of damage in my left torso, or did that not get filled completely? I don't think I got filled completely.
So you're up to shoot.
All right. So we both stood still.
Well, I mean, again, just to reference Hamilton, I'm not standing still. I'm lying in wait.
All right. So, 3 base, 4, 2 for night fighting, and then -1 because you went over 20 heat. You have a -1 this round as well because I went over 20 heat. So be hitting at 4s. So
with the knife fighting?
I'm gonna do large, huh?
With the knife fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah, because we're standing still. I suppose that's true.
We both stood still and we both built enough heat to get the -1 occurred.
Okay.
Yeah. So slug hitting at a 4. It'll hit. That hits your left leg for 10. Doesn't crit if it goes internal. It doesn't go
One
internal.
armor left.
Large laser for 10. Or no, for 4, which I barely got. It's the right leg for 8. Crits once.
It's inside.
Yeah, crits once.
In a way that I really don't want lasers to be.
3
It's
is
a lower
your
leg actuator.
lower leg actuator.
What else you got?
SRM 4-pack 1 will hit. 3 missiles hit. First 2 go into the left arm.
Second piloting check now.
Yeah, because I'll put
0
you at
armor
20.
left on that arm.
All right. Did you go internal all?
No.
Okay. All right. So no, second of that pack. Left arm again, no crit for 2.
Okay.
And then the last one of this pack hits the right arm for 2, no crit.
Okay. Internal. Okay.
Second pack will hit. 2 missiles hit, I think. Yeah, only 2 missiles hit this time. First 2 hit the left torso.
All right.
And then the second 2 go to the right arm, no crit.
Wow, getting really lucky on this arm.
And that'll build me 20 heat exactly. And I will be kicking you this melee phase.
Let's see. I'm gonna fire ERPPC and 1 medium laser.
So you'll be hitting at 5s.
Actually, I'll fire the other medium laser because I didn't jump or anything. My heat is okay. Oh, there's no way I'm hitting a 5, so that can't possibly be correct.
You start at
I start at 4.
4
I
plus
have 1 for heat,
injury.
which is 5. I have another
okay.
for being hit in the head, which is 6.
6.
And
Then
it
plus
brings
2
it to 7,
so you're hitting
8.
at 7s.
Minus 1 for your is a 7. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about your heat and then
ER PPC left leg.
left leg. All right, that's fine. I could use some paint scratching there.
That's not so good for me. I was really hoping center torso or something.
Yeah. That's
medium
right
laser
torso.
right torso.
Okay.
That's a miss.
All right.
Okay. I took a leg actuator pop.
So you should be at a +1.
All right. So with the 20 points of damage, it means I need to make 2 7 piloting skill checks. It'll actually be 8 because of my head damage. So success and failure. I'm gonna fall down and face the same direction. I don't take pilot damage. I mean, that's pretty much it for this guy. He's the match is over for him as soon as he hits the ground. Especially if you're about to kick him in the face.
I can't kick him in the face.
Well, he's prone, so
You use the standard table anyway.
Oh, I thought you used the punch table when you kick somebody who's prone.
No, I checked. It's page, I think, 149.
Okay, works for me.
Yeah.
He's going to deal 4 points of damage to himself. And
that
hits him in the left leg.
leg.
Is it crit? No.
No. Actually, would have preferred it if you didn't fall over, because I think it could have just broke a leg off and caused you to just fall.
Go ahead and make your kick.
So you're prone now, technically.
Yes.
So 4
-2
plus 2 for minus. Does the -1 from the night fighting still apply this round?
Yes, because the heat has been built.
Okay, so 4 -2 for 4 the night fighting and kick. Okay, so I can't fail unless I get double ones, essentially. Which I will spin an edge to do that. So that'll hit. It'll hit the right arm for point for every 5, so 11 points of damage to the right arm.
Okay, the arm snaps off. And then deals 8 more torso damage. Okay.
And that's all I got.
I build 1 point of heat, bringing me up to 10. We see Erfarenhet in his cockpit. He's down. He's got a trickle of blood coming out the side of his mouth. He roars in a wordless rage and begins speaking in a language that we don't understand. As he struggles to his feet, he's gonna commit to well, let me see here. His new walk speed is 6, so that gives me 3 attempts to stand up. Yeah, I'm gonna commit to walking to stand up. There's no way I could fail this 3 times in a row, right?
Can I assist?
You mean you want to help him stand up?
Essentially.
All right. Yeah, then he succeeds on this roll then. All right, so you help him, his chicken wingies to the feet. The crowd goes insanely wild. They're just like, Brody Harrison has just helped his competitor to his feet.
No, his arm's destroyed. I can't use this as a glove. Never mind. I was thinking about that, but I technically do have a hand.
Erfarenhet does a very tsundere-ish thank you as he'll come up. He's like brushing his mech off. Then this round is a wash unless you just want to shoot him after you pick him up.
No, it'd be honorable.
All right, yeah. So the two of you reset yourselves. The betting parlors are going wild. People didn't expect this, and there's like one guy with a huge stack of C-bills in the back, like taking a smoke off of a tiny cigarillo, who's just nodding like, "Yes, I just made a lot of money."
One of our guys like,
oh yeah, there's one guy who's just like, "No, my tickets." I didn't think Apex Dragon was chivalrous. Let's do initiative.
All right.
3. Oh boy, that's actually 2 with the head damage.
6.
I'll stand still. I've chosen my place of death.
All right, I'll stand still as well.
Okay, so I dissipated a ton of heat, so I'm actually good in that regard.
Yeah, it's yeah.
All right, so 4, 5 for the head damage, 6, 7 for the knight is what I got. So firing everything. That's ERPPC to the right arm. Boy, I cannot hit anywhere useful with that thing, huh?
Does it crit?
It does twice.
It goes internal.
Oh boy,
you said right
you
arm?
got that LBX10, yeah. Get those crit dice.
So 6 and 4 internal.
Boy. See what we got here. 2, 2 is gonna be upper arm actuator.
Does it crit twice?
Yeah, and 4, 3 is gonna be the LBX10.
That'll be LBX. All right, so it won't be of use. All right.
So for gameplay purposes, the LBX10 is only damaged and not destroyed yet, which will make a difference for silent investors. Okay, that was just the first thing. I don't get so happy that I got literally one thing. Left arm 5.
5. Okay, that's not serious.
And
you got
right
all those
arm
things.
again for 5 with a crit.
I think it just blows that
The arm is off.
I can't make you reroll that, can I?
You have edge.
Oh, I can make you reroll?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's going to be both dice, not just one.
I'll let you pick.
I'll make you reroll the 6 on the hit roll.
Oh, oof. You're a monster.
Right.
For the folks listening and not watching, the 6 became a 6.
So the right arm is shot off.
Yeah, that thing is gone.
All right, so I got no reason not to shoot that. Do I make him suffer and do a cluster? No. I'm going to do slug, fire everything, do slug.
I was going to say, this is the cluster time right here. He's got so many open holes that you can exploit.
Nothing.
He's got an arm and 2 legs. Well, I guess the arm is gone, but the legs.
Yeah, all right. Here. Okay.
Listen, don't let me talk you out of firing a 10 damage slug. If you want to just go ahead and penetrate one of those side torsos, you do it.
Yeah. So it'd be 3, 2 for night fighting, and then 5, hitting at 5s.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm going to do large SRM, then cluster shot in the LPX, all at 5s. Large hits the right torso for 8, doesn't crit internal.
That might be bad. You said right torso for 8?
Yeah, it doesn't crit.
And that's it. It's internal. Oof, that engine is exposed.
Yep. Then SRM 4 first pack.
You missed with the LBX10?
No, I'm shooting last with the cluster.
Oh, you're a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I didn't foresee that one. That's a good play.
The first SRM 4 pack hits with 3 hit. First 2 hits the right torso, doesn't crit.
Well, still internal. Still scooping out that good stuff.
Second hits the right arm, which I think goes just straight to the right torso. Doesn't crit. And Kenneth crossing you. I hate it. Then the last one for that pack goes the right arm against the right torso. No crit. God damn it.
Only Kenneth crossing if you get all the torsos open.
That's still
and the arms are still intact.
I've hit that torso 4 times and no crits.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Second SRM 4-pack. Oh, that'll miss actually.
Wow. I love the idea that the missiles just don't arm and they bounce off of the mech.
Yeah. Then the LBX cluster. That'll hit barely. 6 on a 10-pack is a 7 on a 10-pack is 6. All right, so first point hits your right torso, doesn't crit. God damn it.
There's one internal.
All right, well, there's a good chance I'm just going to knock that off then here. This is where it comes down to. All right, so 4 goes, well, it's gone because there's 1 point that goes into the right arm, which goes to the torso.
Okay, that's it. The match is over.
You
take out his fusion engine.
Do we need to do any other? Well, there's really no point.
I mean, you could hit him in the head a bunch more times, technically.
I can't, because... Can I take off his legs? No. No, I can't.
Listen, you just do the Glimo thing where at the last second you hit the guy so many times he goes from 2 damage to 6 and dies. In 1 round.
No, I can't. Yeah. So I just knock out his right torso and then...
Alright, so the mech slowly falls onto its side as the mech shuts down. He crawls out of the cockpit and immediately begins giving an interview and says, "My opponent dances, but he is good man." And then he just stomps off the field. Because these fields are kilometers huge. It's like, it's going to be a long time of stomping. And the camera drones follow him the whole way. Several minutes later, you find yourself in a interview with the artist formerly known as Little Drac, and the artist says, "Well, what an exciting match. With the nighttime conditions, clearly there was a bit of movement and an attempt for entrapment, but at the end there, frustration seems to have caught up with your opponent, and you were able to put some exceedingly huge damage down on him."
Yes, the nighttime fighting made it a little bit more difficult, as a lot of things would have hit if they didn't. But I will say, eventually it just came down to a game of patience. Was able to just stick to a corner and then essentially just had to do it a good old slug match right next to each other.
Do you have anything to say about your opponent during that match?
Seems like a good pilot. Still just needs to learn a bit of patience, as he kind of lost it towards the end. I'm surprised he didn't try to take advantage to shoot me when I tried to help him up, but I guess they're not all
now
just brutal maniacs.
Can we expect more honorable actions like this from you in the future?
So long as the opponent seems to be honorable, I don't mind.
So do you find yourself at odds with less honorable members of your stable?
Yes, but ultimately it's their choice. It's not me. It's going to bite them in the butt and later on.
Is there one that you'd want to call out in particular for less than honorable actions?
Not at the moment.
Very well. Anything you'd like to say to your fans, your investors, your sponsors?
This match was a bit of a game playing tickle toes, but ultimately, I was the one that had the last laugh.
Did you just get a list of metaphors so that you could mix them?
Actually, no.
Okay.
No, I'm just using whatever comes up in my head.
Perfect. Pondo, thank you for joining me. Yet another victory for the stable, and except for that LBX, pretty minimal damage towards you.
Yeah, you hit that arm pretty well. Which I guess losing an arm isn't the worst thing, I don't remember how
Well, I'm using a
universal the arms are.
custom system. The arms for a bushwhacker don't exactly fall off of trees, but
That's true. That's fair. So I mean, losing a arm in comparison, like losing. Actually, if I lost torso, I'd just been gone. But ultimately, the LBX can be replaced, although not as easily as like a regular just AC-10. And the arm
starting to
would be
become common at this
yeah,
this time place.
the arm's probably going to be the bigger issue. I remember that the cockpits being universal relatively as far as industry.
Yeah. Until you get to those Word of Blake Mani Domini cockpits that are super small and you can only use them by being cybernetic.
Yeah.
God, it was a weird time.
I definitely came out better than I can't remember his character's name.
Erfarenhet.
Yeah. That's losing that whole torso is like a big hit.
Yep.
I mean, luckily you can recover the arm. It's just getting their torso replaced.
I mean, it's the XL fusion engine is gone, so the mech is basically a giant brick.
He doesn't have an XL engine.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yep.
The Hunchback?
That was a cicada.
Oh, I'm not talking about this guy. No, yeah, the cicada mech is brick.
Who are we talking about with this Hunchback? What Hunchback are we talking about?
Not the Hunchback, the Highlander.
Oh, we're talking about Glimo. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he took a huge amount of hits and he lost a whole arm, so yeah, it's going to be rough.
No, he's able to recover the arm.
Yeah, but I mean,
he lost the torso, which is probably worse.
I'm not prepared to talk about how repairs will work, but it will be paid for by your investors. So,
yep.
As it stands right now, the Highlander costs more than any of the other mech repairs. And Hunter's the only one who requires medical rehab because he got a head hit.
Yep. I forgot that I was going to have a red button that I have like multiple camera amples that says send it as I just slam it and it shoots everything at once. It's my DFA
An alpha
button,
strike button. Yeah. Perfect.
I forgot that. Damn it.
Yeah, this match went on a little bit longer than I expected for a medium fight, but I think it was all that maneuvering. I was desperate to have this moment where someone was like, wow, Arthur, that was a really brilliant move. That never happens to me. And at some point I was like, well, look, we could do this all day until you run out of missiles, but I am on a clock here.
The knife fighting made it. I'd figure it'd be more focused.
The knife fighting, I didn't realize how bad the knife fighting would make things, but it also made the match kind of spicy.
Yeah, it made it more interesting. Like
it definitely made short range very effective, and I think your mech is pretty good at short range.
It's pretty good at short range. I'd rather keep it like medium to long, considering, but it just wasn't really. I was trying to use the cluster to kind of keep it at a longer range, but it still didn't do much because of that +2.
Okay. Any closing thoughts? I mean, I know you've been watching all of the matches. You're also technically a silent investor, so you can invest in yourself. But any thoughts that you would like to share directly with your fellow silent investors at this time? It's me, Brody Harrison. I'm the best. Give me all your money. Make me the stable champion. I'm senpai.
Yeah, I think the adding like the different essentially weather effects or like situational effects like
you mean like the arenas?
The arenas. That's an interesting touch that makes this Solaris thing different, because we never really did that in Time War. We did it a couple of times, but
yeah, I decided to start pushing that out more for this. I think it makes a bigger difference in 1v1 matches.
Yeah,
it really ups the tension.
In like a 4v4, that kind of just makes it more of like a slow slog.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah, in 1v1 it makes it more interesting because I I didn't want to get too close in range to you because you just easily get behind me either just by walking.
That's what I
or
wanted
jumping.
to do. Yeah, I absolutely wanted to get behind you and shoot you in the back.
I had to focus more on kind of keeping roughly about 7 to 8 hexes away, so that way you couldn't just jump behind me.
Yep, I know. And I feel like with enough time, if I'd been able to survive the peppering of SRMs, I might have been able to frustrate you into letting me hit you in the back at least once. But once we started slugging it out in a corner, there was no chance. If we had slugged it out like in the open somewhere, I probably could have got behind you eventually. But
yeah.
It's just the way it ended up coming down. I needed to draw you into a fight, and then there was no chance to move from there.
Yeah, I saw opportunity because if I left that spot, I would. Yeah, if I left that spot, you would just have outmaneuver me from there. So it was a good corner. I stuck to it and kind of had to just do it.
I feel like there's a boxing metaphor to be made here, but
I mean, yeah,
I don't know enough about boxing to make that metaphor.
It's essentially what movie was it? It was a movie where they had Robert De Niro and then Sylvester Stallone. It was a boxing movie essentially, but they're like in their older years, so they're like, oh god. So like at the very end, they just stood still and started punching each other till the very end.
I don't know. The only thing I know, Sylvester Stallone and Rocky are boxing in his Rocky. So
yeah, I don't remember what the movie was. I have to look it up. It was a good movie.
Any final closing thoughts before we sign off here?
I'm curious what the other investors will think of this match. It definitely wasn't like high speed, high expectations like the other two were. The first one was kind of about this. It took a while to kind of get going because it was assault mechs having to close distance, namely just one, and the other one kind of just stood still.
We'll see what they have to say in chat, and of course, we'll see what kind of investment they make in you.
Yeah, so interesting to see how that goes. I think it's an interesting concept and all. So long as like I think the viewer participation is there. Just have to see what they favor as far as play style.
Yes, I know. I am very curious. I have no idea which match they're going to favor, but I think tomorrow's going to be a special one. Just like the Firestarter match was hugely ironic, I think that tomorrow's match will also be very funny for me. That's it. So we'll be joined by Big Spoon tomorrow, and one final advertising before everyone has 2 weeks to choose their silent investor menu options or not, and tell me about what matches they liked, which gladiator they like best, and why. Pondo, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on Saturday for Rogue Trader.
All right.
And now a message from our sponsors again. This is Solaris Nights with your host, the artist formerly known as Lil Drac. Solaris Nights. Produced by Donegal Broadcasting Corporation, the most trusted news in the Lyran Commonwealth.